around him to feed on that power. They are deafening, cold, unsightly, and pitiful. That's the price one pays for taking the ice stone and using the energy of the sky.
Alright, so that scene right there directly correlates to the Harry Potter scene in The Prisoner of Azkaban, the third movie, when Harry Potter is attacked by several Dementors at the same time, and they're attempting to suck his soul out of his body. And if you recall the scene, I even have it documented already, because I'm a huge Harry Potter fan. But at the same time, when the Dementors suck the soul out of Harry Potter, it appears to be a glass orb, spherical, like sphere of light almost, you understand? And it's very similar to the ice sphere and the Hogyoku, as far as, like I already stated, it looks like a marble, you understand? And so once again, that just goes to show, for one, with the context, you see the context is a bit different in the show, and so you start to see how things are explained in, you know, in different ways to give you an entire, like, you know, view of what it actually is, you understand? And so like I said, in this show, it shows you that essentially, you know, I never chose in real life, I never chose to become a perpetrator or enslave anyone or have this technology implanted in me, and or, you know, I still have never learned what the application is that people use to access this material and the technology or anything of it. I just know that it's definitely, you know, government created and ran, you understand? And so once again, you know, with me not choosing to depict, to use, like, you know, me not having a choice in joining whatever they had going on, essentially what that depicts is the fact that they are organ harvesting from me non-consensually, you understand? And so all of the other context about Ook having his energy sealed off by his father, who already stated essentially he set his son up for failure because, you know, as soon as he begins to learn about mage and like sorcery, you know, there's already going to be, you know, for one, several people after him. There's also going to be several people who are studying it for a very long time, etc., etc. And that just goes to show, you know, in my actual life, my father and my father's family, who were highly involved with this perpetrator society, told me absolutely nothing about it still to this day, you understand? And so I just wanted to show how, you know, it was directly correlated. And then they explain the souls that were just, you know, the wraiths, he called it, that were, you know, essentially tormenting Ook. Now that he's, you know, he became a soul shifter due to them, you know, killing him with Muduk, or Nox, who stabbed him. You understand? And so essentially that just depicts the fact that, like in Berserk, you know, they're using this technology to take over my body, and then they're telling people a bunch of lies about, you know, the reasoning why, and they're also downplaying what they're doing to me and when it's being done with the technology, you understand? As far as Bluetoothing parts of my brain pattern onto other people who are acting their entire lives and attempting to become me or parts of my personality, you understand? And so the Dementors and the wraiths in this, they said the same thing. They were complaining, they're cold, they're hungry, or, you know, all of the same things. And what it's depicting and correlating to is the fact that in this V2K conversation, with all the context that I've learned thus far, I know there are several people who are also being targeted, that are tormented souls, you know, imprisoned in their own body because of this technology being used on them, rather than, you know, introduced to them and teaching them how to use it or defend against it. Because, you know, like I said, and it's already been stated in this show, even the technology itself is, you know, so advanced that, you know, society will easily want to incorporate it into real life. The issue is that they're using it to enslave us, you know, and they do all sorts of, you know, you use its features in several ways to, like, tease essentially, and cause, like, to tease you about their access to it, and the fact that you cannot have access to it, or you never knew about it, and you know, its capabilities, like when when I'm eating food and they switch my taste buds over to themselves so they can taste my meal, and I taste absolutely nothing as I chew on my food, you understand? So all of those Dementors and that are attempting to suck out his soul are essentially just, you know, perpetrators who are zombie form and attempting to, gain other people's brain patterns because they don't have their own, or steal other people's emotions because theirs have been stolen, because someone higher in the perpetrator scheme, that's probably a vampire rather than a zombie, wants to hold on to theirs, you know non-consensually. And or the person may have sold their own for money, and then after that wanted to use someone else's, because they, as far as the perpetrator society goes, and the discussion in the V2K conversation, as well as what several other TIs have found out, if it seems as though they have a grand market for these brain patterns and emotions, and they treat it like it's nothing. So one day they'll be using one person's emotions that they bought, and the next day they'll use a new one. You understand?
am General Oba Ade. In regard of the king of Oyo, gifts from Oyo Kingdom, as is tradition.
Alright, so I had recorded this video earlier, but you can see that the part where the video began to play and when I started explaining that they choked my throat so that I even pronounced the word lies in the way that in which it was pronounced. They cut off the entire audio from that video somehow just by hacking into my phone and I guess editing it. However, I also wanted to point out the fact that, you know, like I said, the guy says his name is Obade, and that's phonetically sounds like buddy. And then it shows that he's a major rapist. And then it also suggests that he's supposed to depict Buddy because his face, his features are very similar to LeBron James. And we all know that LeBron James's nickname is King James, and Buddy's Instagram tag or Instagram @ is King Jace Easy. You understand? I already explained the Jace part is him trying to copy my nickname, which is Ace. He tried to just add the J in front of it, and then after that, nickname himself Jace so that he could try and, you know, phonetically steal the nickname sound of mine, as he is, you know, one of the members or pawns that is partially attempting to commit identity theft with parts of my personality and life. You understand? And then, like I said, this guy right here who looks similar to Todd is just meant to portray Todd in a good light, as he's supposed to be the king and he's on the side of the Agoje. However, it's the perpetrator's lie, because really he could also possibly be depicting me. However, the reality is it's a lie, because Todd is also working with the perpetrators and the informants and Buddy and our father's family, and they clearly are rapists who rape minorities and, you know, just white people as well, who probably are you know, lower class, working class or poor, and the government may you know, suggest for them to target that said individual to, you know, buck break them or mentally break them with this technology. And, you know, one of the, you know, events that usually seems to occur based on their conversation with the synthetic telepathy is that once they do mentally break you, they attempt to turn you into a sex worker, which means that they rape you due to the sex being coercion, because they literally harass you with the technology in several ways. Later in the movie, you see the slaves get freed, and then after that, they attempt to grab one of the slave masters and you know, drag him away. And as he's getting dragged away, he's calling out, and it sounds phonetically like he's screaming for Buddy. And I believe that's due to, you know, my father's family using my 3 male cousins, as I aforementioned, you know, Todd, Dre, and Buddy as pawns to infiltrate my networks with this perpetrator V2K synthetic telepathy and whatever, you know, websites and applications and whatever it may be that they use to communicate with one another, you know, through the police station. You know, there may be a local task force that, you know, already assign people to groups when they're, you know, on the same mission or whatever the case may be, what they're attempting to do, you know. And then we're speaking here about organ harvesting that they're doing. They're committing, you know, several crimes in order to organ harvest energy from all of the organs within the human body, including the brain, which, you know, includes a lot. So it just goes to show that they were working together with people my age, as well as their family members and parents and resources they have connecting with the older generation in my father's family. But people my age were definitely interacting with my 3 male cousins, as well as other cousins as well on that side of the family, through their technology and the spearheading of my father's family, my father, his siblings, etc. So I just wanted to show that part.